My breathtaking moment this week came from our reading this morning. I fell in love when I read a few words from Jeremiah today, looking at Jeremiah chapter 8 and chapter 9. And it gets at the heart of what is wrong with God's people. Why are they continuing to walk a path that's resulting in pain and suffering beyond belief? Why do these people stay on their self-destructive path? Great question. And this is kind of one of my ongoing quests. Not only do I want, I hope to help you and help our friends read the Bible for themselves, think about it, reflect on it. But I don't know about you. I see, not only in myself, but in a lot of people that I know, I see a pattern of self-sabotage. I feel like, people that I know and love, I see this, as a pastor, I see this pattern a lot. People that are stuck in a cycle over and over where they make choices, decisions, patterns of behavior that result in hurting themselves and the people around them. And they're stuck on a loop and they can't even see it, right? I see people like this, and they'll reach out to someone like me. I'm struggling with, and then you kind of go to well, here's some things you could do, some steps you could take, and they can't. They're stuck. The question that I've been asking myself, and I didn't even know how to put it into words: why do these people stay on their self-destructive path? Jeremiah is talking about the people of his time, and he says, why do the people of Jerusalem refuse to turn back? I think it's a great question. He goes on to describe, what is it like to be on this self-destructive path, and why can't they or won't they turn around? And he gives a couple of things. He says, they cling tightly to their lies and do not turn around. I listen to their conversations and don't hear a word of truth. Is anyone sorry for doing wrong? Does anyone say, what a terrible thing I've done? No. They're all running down the path of sin. I think this is just so insightful. When I am stuck on a self-destructive path, or people I know and love are, they would rather feel good about themselves and life right now than to let go of the lies they hold on to and change course. Right? That is a sure sign of being stuck on a self-destructive path. And that's incredible insight. Why do they keep going back? Well, they have some truth available to them, but they cling, they hold on to the lie. I feel good when, I believe a version of reality, a version of my story that's not based in fact or truth. It's based on how I want to feel about myself. And I get it. We've all been there. Here's another thing. Here's another line here from Jeremiah. He says, they do not know the Lord's laws. And we're talking about the Lord's laws. We're talking about his guidelines for life. It's the 10 Commandments and all the rest God gave to kind of help them understand how to live in healthy relationship with themselves, with their neighbors, and with God. And it says they don't know his laws. If you're like me, my first thought was, oh, it's talking about having the information, in my head, if only they would read and then they would know, they would gain the facts about the laws. But that's not what he means by knowing here. If you take a look at the verse above it. The Lord's saying, look, even the stork that flies across the sky knows the time of her migration, as do the turtle dove, the swallow, and the crane. They all return at the proper time each year, but not my people. They don't know the Lord's laws. We're talking about is this instinct. These migratory birds know when it's time to fly south for the winter, and they know how to follow the path through the sky to where they need to go, to spend the winter, and then they know when and how to get back home. And the Lord's saying, look, people who are stuck on a self-destructive path, their instincts are really off. They don't have the instinct that points them toward, hey, This is what it would take to get me back into a healthy relationship with God, with myself, and with other people. It's not knowledge, it's instinct. It's the part of us that's supposed to, when it works well, is supposed to, a combination of conscience and the inner voice, that kind of goes, hey, this is the right way. This is how I correct my course, change my path. This is how I get off of this self-destructive cycle. And when you're a person that's stuck, and you stay on the self-destructive path, not only would you rather feel good about your lies than to hear and respond to truth, but your instincts are all off. And then the last thing, Jeremiah down here, they not only, the instincts are off, but then they think that they are aware and following God's word, but check this out. They are listening to teachers who twist God's word into lies. And so they think they're hearing words from God, but they're not actually hearing God's words. And these are teachers that are lying to them. And what's wrong is these teachers are offering, look at this lie, isn't that so poetic? They're offering superficial treatments for my people's mortal wound. People on a self-destructive path are bleeding out, and they're listening to teachers who are offering them haircuts. Superficial, ineffective, feeding them the lies they want to hear instead of actual word from the Lord. And because of that, in fact, it says the next line here, they get those teachers who twist God's word, give assurances of peace when there is no peace. So they're lying to them about, you're okay. Everything you're doing is fine. God thinks you're great. We're good. Be blessed. And this is how people get stuck on that self-destructive path, like the self-sabotage, stuck in loops, So I don't know. For me, that was my moment. I love that moment today as I read, thinking, thank God for the wisdom he offers. It's hard to hear at times, just like the people of Judah are, man, they want to hang Jeremiah from a tall tree. They think of him as a traitor because he's saying true things from God to them, but he loves them enough to tell them the truth, to deliver God's actual word to them. But they didn't want to hear it because they are in a self-destructive path. And I guess as we wrap up today, I hope you feel the value that having God's word available to you offers. It's incredibly valuable to get actual true statements that are about reality. And even when they're hard to hear at times, they challenge us or push us a little bit. It's a gift. It's a gift to have God's truth come in and go, hey, why don't you let go of those lies? Why don't you let me recalibrate your instincts? And why don't you let me speak some real truth to you from my word? It will pull you back from a path of destruction, just like he offered to pull the people of Jerusalem back from the brink of exile. I love that. And there's my heart behind all of this for you, my friend, and for me too. It's why reading the Bible for yourself, but not by yourself, is so valuable. Like, it's got me doing this with you. I need it. And I also long for you, my friend, to live a life that's not stuck on a self-destructive path, not on a self-destructive loop. But rather than hearing this and that from people here and there, saying they're teachers maybe, but maybe twisting things to make sure that, they get the audience they want. Instead, you open it up, the Bible for yourself, raw and real and honest and life-changing.